My little boy, Kieran. He's 7 months old, literally just over 7 months old. And I just thought I'd do a little video because I haven't done one in a very long time. So obviously I've been very busy with him, and a few of the other cats as well haven't been too well. So I've been trying to sort out a few things and get a few things sorted. Haven't we, mate? Hey, say hello. Say hello, mate. Say hello, Kieran. Right, basically what I wanted to talk about is when it comes to your education, it's very, very important. And I had a little bit of a grievance recently with one of my qualifications that I've worked very, very, very hard for. So what happened is I was with Enfield College, and it comes under Cornell Study and Educational Board. And what happened is that I worked very hard in one of the sectors that I wanted to like do very well in, and I'm a distinction graded student. I'm not, say, a merited student or a pass student. Not that I'm saying that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just that when it comes to achieving something, I want the highest rank in achieving, like mark, because I put a lot of hard work and effort into it. So the thing is, what happened is that there was 7 different modules that you have to learn in this one specific course. And basically what happened is that when I was studying hard with this course, like I said, I put in 100% in everything. So I was awarded distinction grades in certain modules. And basically what happened is that when you finish your course, you get your certificate. And then obviously if you wanted to progress to do the next level, then you can. So because I suffer with OCD, everything needs to look like academically correct. And it's not a bad thing, but like it's very off-putting when you don't get things in order how they should look. So what happened is that because that they wasn't sending out paper certificates, and when they gave me my certificates in a PDF file, which was emailed to me, it come up in 6 different pieces of paper on these PDF files. So I was thinking, why is my certificate spread out so much? And it's like not going to look very professional when it comes to an employer if I wanted to follow on in that sort of like sector. So I was just very annoyed with this. And when I asked the college itself, why is my certificate coming in so many different pieces of paper, they then replied to me that, oh, because of the coronavirus, and obviously like we could only submit the correct information, but in fact it wasn't correct. They gave me passes instead of my distinction grades because apparently they had lost my distinctions and I never achieved them. So they also said to me, what you can do is then you can apply for an appeal process. So I'd done that, and then I won my appeal. And obviously with me, every single time that I done a test or an exam, or obviously like when it comes to doing the practical work, when the teacher signed my stuff, I took a picture of it. Now this is actually a very good bit of information when you do your exams and then you wanted to see your grades and your marks. If the teacher signs something, take a picture of it, because that way you've got backup, you've got evidence, and then it actually helps you when you want to put in an appeal, or if you want to say win your argument in that subject. So what I then done is obviously I had to submit my photographic evidence, which I then won. But what happened is that the teacher who gave me the distinctions, they actually lost the distinction paperwork, which was a very, very stupid answer. How can you lose paperwork? And this specific teacher said to us at the very, very start, you need to be very careful like when you're doing your paperwork, because it needs to be 100% accurate, because it goes to Ofqual, Ofsted, and also it goes to City and Guilds. Now, because the different subjects that I was working on, City and Guilds, that you cannot mess around. They are known all around the world. You can't like say, oh yeah, well I've got this and I've got that, because when they check on the system, if you haven't, then you're the liar. But with me, I actually have. Now it went higher than just my average teacher. I had to speak to the exam board. I spoke to City and Guilds. I spoke to the college tutors. I spoke to their boss. I spoke to even the boss's boss. I spoke to everybody I could. And it was an ongoing argument for literally like, say, 8 months, 9 months. Every single week I was emailing, phoning. And it was just honestly so frustrating to know that this teacher, Mr. Kelvin Armstrong, and yes, I will name him, Mr. Kelvin Armstrong, said to us, look, you need to be very, very careful, because when you're doing your paperwork, it needs to be 100% accurate, because Ofqual, Ofsted and City and Guilds, we have to send it off to them, and then they will be able to go over it, and then obviously like give you the qualification at the end of it. Now, this specific teacher was the same teacher who ended up losing my paperwork. So it doesn't look very professional when it comes to it. So it doesn't make sense. When I spoke to him over the phone, he basically hung up because he knew that I caught him out, and it was very silly of him. I spoke to his boss as well, Mr. Simon Darley. He stopped replying to me after a while as well, because he just said that, no, what we're giving you, like, you have to accept it. I can't accept that. So the annoying thing is basically because it come to the end of their tether, I then spoke to their manager. Their manager didn't really know what to do. I spoke to the exam board as well. The exam board, like, honestly, like, they come to a stop because they said it's actually the teacher's fault. They should have submitted the correct information from the first place. It also come to basically the head teacher. When I was speaking to the head teacher, Mr. Robin Cook, it was an ongoing battle even with him, and then he basically blamed it onto City and Guilds' fault. And he said, no, what you need to do is submit the correct information, and you will have to pay for your certificate, which is free. You don't have to pay for it. So when I got on the phone to City and Guilds and I was emailing them, they then said specifically, word for word, it's not down to your fault, it's actually the college's fault, because they keep submitting the wrong information. And because it's incorrect, then obviously your certificate will keep turning up incorrect. I had, lo and behold, literally 12 pieces of paper to show 7 modules. It was literally, it kept coming in so incorrect all the time. And even down to the actual, like, the name of the course as well, they couldn't even get that right. And it was all the college's fault. So the thing is, even City and Guilds had said to me that obviously it's not down to your fault. It's actually City and Guilds that need to arrange this and sort it out. It's not your fault. So I don't know why they keep blaming it on you. This is what I'm trying to say. So when it comes down to doing these things, make sure that you have backups. Make sure that you have the correct information. And obviously don't believe in one word what your teacher says. So even if you have to record your teacher's conversations that you have with them, record them. And then when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, at least you know for well that you've done your ultimate best. There's no way that they can fault you for anything that you've done, because it's not your fault. It's not your problem. And even like I finally got my City and Guilds qualification, but it's only because I persisted. And I had so many ongoing battles with the teachers, with the headmaster, even the exam board. And when it comes to City and Guilds, they said to me, word for word, it is not your fault. It's down to the school to actually submit the right information in the first place, for then us to then print off what they have given us. And the annoying thing is because it's literally just come in last week, I've literally only got 3 months now. If I wanted to do the level 2 course, right, I've only now got 3 months to complete a whole year's course because of the college's mistake. So it's not good enough in a way. It's actually inexcusable, and it's really frustrating that I've had to go down this really long, annoying road of contacting like this person, that person, that person, that, because it's a blame game. Now, another thing is, like, a couple of years ago, I was doing a level 1 media course, because obviously I do video editing and I do like a few things on websites. I'll try my hardest, even like when it comes to promoting my stuff. I know all about that sort of stuff. So I thought I'd do a course in it. Even animation, I've done a few animations before in the past, so I thought I'm going to give that a try. And everybody else that was actually in the course with me was able to sort of like get their certificate first. So I was thinking, where's mine? How come mine hasn't turned up? So then I had to literally go down to the college with my wife. We went there, and when it come to it, I spoke to this guy, Tone Fan, who said that he was the head of media, which he actually lied. It wasn't Tone Fan that was head. It was actually a woman called Layla. And the thing is with these teachers, they just chat rubbish. They're liars. And because I knew the head of media, he couldn't pull like a wool over my eyes and think that, oh, I'm going to get away with saying this. Because when I said to them that, look, I don't understand how everybody in the class has got their certificate, but where's mine? And then he said, oh, I'm just going to look on the system. Okay, and when he looked on the system, he said, oh, no, I just realised that I haven't actually marked it off, so I obviously you won't get your certificate yet. It will take up to 2 weeks for it to come, but I just forgot. So this is what I'm trying to say, right? No matter what you do when it comes to, like, say my BTEC certificate, it wasn't signed off. My City and Guild certificates, it wasn't actually like academically correct. On my side, I've got my distinctions. I know I did. I'm not silly. I've got the paperwork. I've even got pictures to prove that I've got it. So I had to not just win the appeal, I had to also like phone the City and Guilds. I had to speak to the exam board. I had to speak to all these different people just to get somewhere. And eventually, finally, I did manage to get somewhere. But they kept blaming it on things like the corona, because things are put back a little bit. No, that's not a good excuse. I mean, to be honest, like just because there is this whatever pandemic or whatever going on, things are still being done. So that's just another excuse just to get people like off your case. But no, I'm sorry, with me, no, it doesn't work like that. Because me and my wife, like, and literally the kids, we're doing so many things to get things sorted out and done. We're not going to excuse things and backtrack and whatever. No. So basically, what I'm trying to say is just when it comes to these things, if you are doing a course, just make sure that you persist. When it comes to education, it's extremely important. All right, because even with my son, with little Kieran here, yeah, he is going to be learning so many different things, and he's got an amazing, fantastic mum. I couldn't ask for a better mum for him, and she's extremely well educated and stuff. I mean, I learn off of my wife literally daily, so she teaches me a lot of stuff. And with me, I'm really enjoy it. That's the thing. I actually really enjoy learning about these things. And with Kieran, with me, I can teach him loads of different things that he's going to be interested in. And if he's not, then we'll just teach him something else. So obviously, even when it comes to reading and whatever, so I'm going to be teaching him how to read and like how to write. So I want him to be able to be interested in these things. So with me, I'm literally just shy of 200 qualifications, like loads of different things, like even like veterinary stuff, like computers, like photography, like loads of different things, even cooking now. I love learning about different things, whereas before I weren't interested. So even electrical, I've been doing things with electronics over the years, and I thought I'm just going to go in for something to see if I can better myself and obviously like do it like professionally. So that's what I wanted to do. I've done my course. I'm extremely happy with finally what I've got, because I managed to not just achieve the qualification, but I had to win a battle, a constant battle of arguing to get what I needed and what I achieved. So when it comes down to it, just make sure that if you're doing a course, if you're doing any bit of education, persist and make sure you get what it is that you actually achieved. Because if you don't and you leave it, then you're never ever going to get exactly like what you got. And basically what I'm trying to say is that if you don't persist, and then obviously you don't like say struggle and argue for what it is that you actually wanted in the first place, then you might as well just forget about it. Because if you're one of these people where you just let too laid back and you think, oh, I'll just sort it out another day, that day will not come, honestly. And there's always a cut-off date. So the earlier that you put it, like when with me, the earlier that I put my appeal in, it actually helped me like a lot. Because if I would have left it, I would have been stuck without all that hard work sort of thing would have just been wasted and put down the drain. So with me, I wanted to make sure that everything was done correctly. And with me, like I said, I suffer with OCD, so it needs to be literally 100% accurate. It needs to look professional, and if it's not, no, I'm going to be on the phone, I'm going to be on the emails, everything, and I'm going to win my case because I know that I'm right. So even with him as well, he's learned a lot as well for the little seven and a little bit months that he's been around. That he's going to be learning tons off of me, and especially his mum as well, and obviously his brother and his sister. And we're going to be there for him. That's the difference. And even with me, I didn't really have like parents that were there for me over the years. So basically, my wife has helped me like learn so many different things, and I'm still learning off of her now. And that's what like this little one's going to be learning as well. And yeah, so I just thought I'd do a quick little video, a little brief one. So if you are doing any educational stuff, make sure that you persist, make sure that you get it done, make sure that you're satisfied with your end result. That's the main thing. All right, so I'm going to shoot off now. I want everybody to have a wonderful day. It's been absolutely amazing talking to you all, as it always is. And yeah, just enjoy the rest of your day and make sure you stay safe out there, all right? Take care. Say goodbye, Kieran. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. All right, take care, everyone.